Each of them. I've had it 30 years.
Holy
I
shit.
want you to have it.
Wow.
We're gonna smoke one of those. Have that.
We gotta get some alcohol.
So
we
let's
got
start
to.
with this,
Yeah.
and then this one is like drinking Burgundy wine.
Yeah, you got
It's
it.
elegant, but these are yours.
Thank you very much.
And I also, the cigar you had, I brought you a box with cigar of the year, so you have 3.
You know how to take care of me.
Well, you know what? You're taking care of me. I mean,
I told you I would.
yeah. So part of this is to bring back memories because you were smoking those cigars.
You gonna go back to '93? I'm old. I can't remember what happened in '93, but I'll do my best. I just know we won, and I quit. I didn't quit. I retired. And the draw is like perfect.
Okay.
My man Ahmad Rashad is gonna die. He's gonna die.
Well, if you decide you want to give him one,
I'm only giving him
well,
one.
you know, then.
He likes these too.
And I signed both boxes as
Thank you, sir.
memento
I
of
may
this
not give him
occasion.
one of these though.
You ready?
I'm ready when you are.
Okay. 20, 30 years ago, millions of boys growing up wanted to be just like Mike. When you were growing up, who did you look up to? Who did you want to be?
Well, I was closer to watching my father do most of the stuff. So, I mean, I wasn't really into professional sports because where I grew up, you only had like 2 television stations, you know, NBC and ABC. And we couldn't even get the NBA games. So most of my focus stayed on the college game. So I was a big college basketball player. You know, I watched college and then baseball. Obviously, my father was a big baseball fan. He loved Roberto Clemente. So he was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And I kind of grew up emulating or following his footsteps in terms of who he admired is who I watched. I grew up also a NASCAR fan. So I was a Richard Petty fan. We used to go, my father used to take the whole family, pack us all in, you know, this Chrysler Plymouth, and we would drive all over North Carolina, South Carolina, and go watch stock car racing. So I was more into stock car racing than I was into anything else.
Okay. So in late 2015, and I'm sure you know of this, but the Harris Poll surveyed Americans to rank the most popular athletes in American history. And you were voted number 1. Babe Ruth was number 2. Muhammad Ali was number 3. And then there were a bunch of others, many of whom you know. All of this is wonderful. In your life, what is your greatest regret?
You know, I really don't have regrets. I am the person that says, you know, as soon as you look back in your history and you come up with something that you feel like you want to change, something else has to change. You know, so
what about your biggest disappointment?
Once again, that's the same analogy. You know, disappointment to me, to win, you got to lose. To be successful, you got to have something that's not successful. To be happy, you got to have disappointment. So I think all of those things have evolved and happened to make me who I am and understand the benefits and the privileges I have for being who I am, you know, and not to wear it on my sleeve, be very humble about it. That's one thing my parents taught me very well is, you know, don't wear your reputation, don't wear your accolades, don't wear your personality on your sleeve. Let it happen, let it be you. It is who you are. Don't hide from it, but don't wear it and rub it in people's faces. So, you know, when you sit there and you say, well, you know, I've 1890 or 2005, they voted me as like the best or the most popular athlete. You know, it's ironic that I'm the youngest of the three. So in essence, it's all relevated on who is watching now. If you ask 20 years from now, I'm pretty sure LeBron may beat me, you know, based on who's going to be making the voting. So I say that to understand that, you know, it is what it is. You know, I don't wear it, I don't showcase it, I don't rub it in other people's faces. Someone else's opinion. If you ask me, I could never give you an opinion about things like that, because as an athlete, all you want to do is be the best athlete you can be.
Well, on that point, when we did the interview 12 years ago, you made a big point that you wanted it to be private, that you wanted to take back your wife, that you had been in the public eye and so forth and so forth.